Okay, hello everyone, I'm Mika the Shadowbeast, and welcome back to my channel. This is the first part of day 4 for the video I just recorded, which is the one with the very detailed instructions. I will, link back to that video in this one, so you can I would recommend watching that one first and then coming and watching this one. It's being recorded on December 11th, which is a Monday. And this is the build we have so far for day 4. It is not complete, and I cannot post it yet. But but if you're watching this video, it means we're allowed to post it. So let's get into it. Oh, that lag. My head hurts. A dull ache spreads across the side of my head like a brush fire sparked from a cigarette butt. The veins behind my eyes are throbbing, and I feel a warm, I feel a warm, soft cloth against my cheek. As I try to reach up to rub my head, I feel my wrists are bound above my shoulders with nylon rope. My fingertips tingle from the lack of circulation, but I rap my knuckles against the wood frame of a bed headboard, and I force my heavy eyes open just for a split second. Where the hell am I? Good morning, sleepyhead! I twist my head to look over at the pair of blue eyes that are glaring at me. I freeze as my eyes meet his. His cerulean eyes are bright in contrast to when my heart stops in my chest and ice water runs through my veins. Oh god, Dawn. He killed Dawn. Not one afterthought, not one shred of remorse, and then he came for me. And my head, it still hurts. And if he's willing to kill to get what he wants, and he's already attacked me, who knows what else he'll be willing to do to get what he wants? A warm metallic taste taints the inside of my mouth, and I realize that I'm biting my inner lip so hard that it's bleeding. I swallow and take a deep breath. If I play it cool, maybe he won't hurt me, and if I gain his confidence, maybe I'll have a chance to escape. My throat is dry, trying to suppress a cough. I manage to choke out a question. Where am I? With a warm grin that makes my skin crawl, he sweeps his hand at the room around me. Darling, you're home! My books, my clothes, even my plushies and my game daddy are all of my most familiar longings are resting around in a room that's completely alien. God, maybe I am still asleep. Game takes your breath away, doesn't it? I hope you like it. And no need to thank me just yet. It's just the first of my many gifts to you. I even brought you several new packets of batteries for your little gaming device. All of the charms of your old life, but without any of the burden. What do you think? All of this plus a sandwich. I made it a few minutes ago. I was hoping it would be a sort of welcome to your new home present, but maybe it'll help break the ice. He sits up from the bed and dashes out of the bedroom. I can hear his feet thumping down the hallway. I have to escape. A few moments later, he's in with the sandwich and the water. White bread. Oh, good. It's peanut butter and jelly, and it's not cut on the pixel. I can't tell if it's the rush of blood to my head or if I'm even more confused by my surroundings when I'm sitting upright. It's peanut butter and jelly. I'm not quite sure what your favorite sandwich is. I always imagined our first date would be in that cute dino that you looked at, but I guess it wasn't in the stars. At least this time around. Thanks, but I'll eat it a bit later. Oh, you don't like it? No, I do like it, and it looks delicious, really, but I'm just so confused. What about, darling? I don't take my eyes off of him. I don't even blink. Why are you doing this? Why did you kidnap me? He looks slightly wounded by my question, as if I already knew the answer but refused to see it. He turns his gaze to the bedsheet, pensively staring at it for a moment before returning his attention to me. He looks like he's having a horrible time trying to explain himself, as if he manages to catch the words before they come out wrong. His shoulders slack and he looks at me longingly. I wish that you could see yourself the way I see you. From the first time I saw you, I could see that you were different from everyone else, you know? It's not just because I think you're attractive. I mean, you are. You are so beautiful to me, and I can't take my eyes off of you. You haunt me. You're all I can think about when I'm awake, and you're all that I dream about when I sleep. I couldn't get you out of my head, so yeah, I started to watch you. I'm not really proud of it, but I had to know what you were like. I'm not a people person by any stretch. In fact, I can't stand being around anyone else. People go about their petty little lives, self-interested and greedy, all while paradoxically having so little to do, so little to no ambition because their dreams have died. So many people crushed by the weight of the world, and now they are just husks. They're dead dreamers in a world of shadows, ghosts, unable to see past their own little bubble of self-indulgence. Pathetic. But I saw you from every angle. You're kind, caring, and loyal to friends who are down on their luck. You're savvy and snarky, and you can roll with the punches that life throws at you because sometimes life is just a sick joke. And I've even seen you strong and assertive and unwilling to compromise your own self-worth and honor. But then those dead dreamers started to look at you, staring. I saw the same chains they wanted to force upon you. It made me sick. No, I wouldn't let them make you as empty as they are. I had to save you. He pauses for a few moments as if he's waiting for me to interject with my heart thundering in my chest. I half expect him to smash the plate against the other side of my head if I don't answer the way he wants me to. I don't know what to say. My answer is passive and... Migo. A faint smile curls at the A faint smile curls at the corners of his lips. I think you do, but maybe I'm just putting too much fuss on you right now. You're a bit tired and hungry, and being tied up like an animal isn't helping matters either. I think we can get rid of those nasty ropes and let you move about a bit. After all, this is your new home, so why not explore it a bit? He pulls my feet towards him and begins to fumble with the knot, as if expecting me to attempt to kick my legs free and run. Instead, I lie still and let him finish. And your wrists, too. I hold out my arms and intentionally avoid eye contact with him in an whatever. He reaches behind his back and retrieves a knife and holds it in front of me. I feel sick and that every alarm bell in my head is ringing to fight him and run. No, that's probably what he's looking for. He doesn't want me dead. At least I don't think so. Resisting every urge to kick or claw or run or scream, I sit quietly at his mercy. I've really outdone myself with this knot. I think that the only way to get you loose is to cut it. It's almost too cheery in his explanation as he cuts my bonds. And we both know that flashing the knife was a sick test. As he tucks it back behind him, it appears that it's a test that I've passed. In the meantime, feel free to have a wander around your new home, and don't worry about the dishes. I'll take care of them when you're done. He picks up the sandwich and places it beside the water on the dresser and walks to the door. I'll be in my bedroom if you need anything. He leaves the door cracked and gives me a wink before retreating down the hall. Okay. This room is so unsettling. It has shiny veneer, but as I look closer at the chipped and tattered door frame and the peeling wallpaper by the shelf with my music, I can sense the dank rot underneath it all. Yeah, it's a little chewed upon. There has to be something around here that I can use. Items. There was nothing. This reminds me of the books I have at home. Wait, are those the exact same books I have? An empty hamper, my dirty laundry on the floor. He really wants me to feel at home. Privacy panel. I get the feeling that I won't be afforded any privacy during my stay. Some wax candles sit on the dresser, probably his way of setting a romantic ambience. The thought about him getting handsy makes my skin crawl. Why are these here? I dread to think what sort of sounds would need to be drowned out in here. Huh, the stereo system isn't half bad. If I had my phone, I could have used it as some sort of distraction. There's a nice PC on the desk. I attempt to log in, but it requires a password. I guess these photos are supposed to suffice for having an actual window. Okay, I think that's everything. Outside we go! Ooh, the bathroom. What's this? Pills. Okay. It's the same brand of products that I use, right down to the same brand and flavor of mouthwash. Everything here looks new. He was planning on moving me in all this time. Okay. Table set for one. Either he wasn't expecting me to be outside of my room, or he is watching his stickman figure very, very carefully. That's weird. His fruit is filled with my favorite snacks and drinks. Doesn't he have anything here for himself? I'm wound up too much to have coffee right now. Hello, a knife. Okay, so we have the knife. Maybe I can take that bastard out and make a run for it. I'm taking this with me. I'm trying to get the freaking... Got it! Okay. Covered in dust, they are either aesthetic or investments, but he obviously doesn't cycle them out enough to imbibe. Oh, before we go, one little snakey. Hug the snake with the name Rat on the water this. Isn't she a cutie? Is that seriously the snake's name? Oh, and TV. Well, at least this is still working. Maybe some background noise can help cover up the sound of me scoping out the place. Is that from Gravity Falls? The Pixel. Damn it, the front door is locked and that lovesick lunatic has the key on a string tied around his skinny neck or duct taped to his chest. Maybe it's dangling around something gross. Shit, maybe I can still get the drop on him and get those keys out of his pocket. I just need to look for something to use as a weapon and try and leave. Is it just me? Or is it a bit weird to be sneaking around your own home? He glares at my hands as they strangle the doorknob, and his expression of suspicion fades to abject heartbreak. I hope we didn't fuck this up. Whether he's feigning pathos or if it's genuine anger, I'm too horrified to tell. Oh, I see, but why would you want to leave? What is it? I'm not giving you everything that you've ever wanted? You wanted a life without a shitty job, or mountains of bills, or spending all of your spare time sharing a home with that shitty roommate. Do you think I'm a bad roommate? Maybe even a bad boyfriend? He reels for a moment as he processes it all, and I can see the gears grinding in his head as he reflects on where it all went wrong. Finally, under staggered breath, his shoulders sloop and his eyes fall to the floor in defeat. His big blue eyes blink away tears. I love you, Mika. I wish you could see that, but I guess I really went too far off the deep end, didn't I? Damn it, I didn't want it to be this way, but after an unfortunate silence, he finally digs his hands into his pocket and pulls out a keyring. Holding out one brass key in particular, he dangles them in view. Here, if you really want to go, then this is the door key and the keys to my van on the ring, but in his big blue eyes is still a glimpse of hope that I'll reconsider. Take the keys. He's toyed with me for the last several days, and that same horrible sensation is all but screaming that I have to get out of here. I feign reluctance as I cautiously reach out and take the keys from him, but never break eye contact. My outstretched arm is tensed, ready to retract it at his smallest twitch. To my surprise, he simply releases them. They collapse in my palm, and he takes a step away from the door without a word. I begin to fumble the key at the lock, but I don't dare take my eyes off of him. That bastard, he probably didn't even hold up the actual door key. After scratching at the surface around the hole, I'm stunned when the key finally slides in and twists. I twist the knob, swinging the door free. I walk backwards through the door, but as I began to close the door to lock him inside, blah blah blah, his eyes widen and I see his lips curl into a plea that his throat chokes. Looks back along with his tears, making a desperate lunge forward to catch either the door. Sorry for that startle. Either the door or me. I pull the handle with all my might. I feel a brief moment of resistance against the doorknob as it's torn from his fingertips, like so many of his recent plans. The door slams shut, and I hold the knob in place as the stranger tries to twist it open from the other side. The keys jumble in my fingers, and I fumble to find the specific brass key that he had held out to me while he continues to wrench the knob free. Finding the key, I slide it inside of the lock and twist it locked. He continues to lock the door until he realizes it's futile. I just hope I've bought myself enough time to make my escape. Okay. Run into the forest. I stand at the edge of the tree line. My eyes can barely see past the first row of skeletal shadows of the low-hanging tree limbs. With my heart pounding, I try to rush my way forward and into the enveloping darkness. The brush that little dark forest floors next my legs, and I have to make slow, deliberate steps to keep from twisting my ankle on log stumps and uneven terrain. I cross my arms in front of my face after being battered by brittle branches. My toes tread clumsily through the brush, stirring leaves and breaking saplings and dead branches under the weight of my shoes. Another trick snaps under my feet, and I hear a second crack from the emptiness behind me. I can hear the brush stirring behind me, and out of sheer desperation I crouch and stumble frantically. A flashlight's beam sweeps the tree trunks to my left, and I fall to my stomach, hoping that the thick brush will offer some cover from the merciless light. The arch of the flashlight sweeps over me for a moment and passes quickly before focusing on a nearby path that I had been blind to. The light of the flashlight bobs and weaves as my pursuer races away farther from my sight. I spring from my position and push forward until my outstretched hands discover what felt like a limbless tree that had been stripped of its bark. I feel the rough, square shape of the post and trace my fingers along the horizontal boards that made up the dilapidated wood fence. I walk parallel to the fence, using it as my only guide deeper into the forest. The brush is thinner, and the branches aren't as obstructive, giving me more movement to keep a leery eye out for my stalker's sweeping light. Walking deeper, I hear a rustle of leaves behind me, but I shrugged it off as possibly a small animal, like a squirrel or a rabbit. I had nothing but empathy for the small animals hunted in the darkness by hungry predators. I push forward and brush against something that feels softer than... oh no. Then a wood post or tree. Almost. Oh my god! There you are! A shriek of horror erupts from my throat, and I stumble backwards. He shines his flashlight on the ground and then stripes to my right. Darling, I wouldn't move if I were you. This is your only warning. Why does it look like that? I think there's a glitch. I've got 2 pedos. He digs into his back pocket and pulls out a pair of handcuffs. Oh, is this the path where I get my leg chopped off? Put these on, one around your wrist and the other around your ankle. I'll carry you home. We can forget this whole incident and start fresh. Silvery handcuffs glimmer in the beam of the flashlight, and I step backwards. A grim look washes over his face as he continues to dangle the handcuffs in between the two of us. Okay, for real this time. Last chance to stop first. Fuck you. He takes a single step forward and I retreat backwards. Bear traps. That's why I lose my leg. He didn't cut it off. He amputated it. Oh my god. It's bear traps. I scream in pain as I feel an unseen jaw clamp around my shin. Its carnivorous teeth tear into the flesh and splinter the bone. I collapse under my weight, screaming and nursing the wound with trembling hands. Hot blood pours between my fingers and pulls in my sock. He doesn't say anything, he just stands there with a disquieted look on his face. He shines the light down to my leg where the rusty iron teeth of a bear trap are embedded in my leg. You've really done it this time, haven't you? He kneels down and undoes his belt and wraps it above the wound. He pulls the belt tight to cut off the blood flow and ties it as tight as he can. You just couldn't come with me. All that I wanted was to be yours. Was that too much of me? No, you keep having to do it the hard way, and now look at you. As my leg begins to go numb for the press of his belt, he reaches down and pulls the stake that held the chain of the trap in place. Wrapping the chain around his fist, he pulls it. The teeth of the trap are still tearing into my flesh and bone, and I thrash from the first jolt of pain. But luckily, we have all the time in the world, and eventually, you'll learn to love me as much as I love you. You'll realize that I'm yours, forever. He begins to drag me back to his house by the trap's chain. The bumps and scrapes of the trail debris against my back pales in comparison to the biting, dragging, grinding sensation of the teeth chewing my shin. The pressure of his belt around my leg doesn't numb the pain enough to keep me from blacking out. The last thing I remember was seeing are the dimly lit branches of the trees overhead and the stars that shine down on me with perfect indifference. Oh, this is new. I stare up at the ceiling of a familiar room. Is it the bathroom? Oh, is this my room? What room is this? My vision is hazy, but I can make out the damp wallpaper in the corners of the room that are still peeling, and the wavering shapes of my belongings still sit in a parody of a previous life. I roll my head to look at the top of my desk, where a fresh sandwich and a cold milkshake rest. There's a lingering smell in the room that I can't quite place. Maybe that the jerk burned the meat in the new sandwich. Regardless, I'm not going to touch it. Even if my stomach wasn't soured, I'd rather starve than eat anything that bastard makes. As far as I'm concerned, he and everything he touches is pure poison. The door to the room is shut, and I expect that it's now secured from the outside with a bolt or a padlock or something. God, my leg itches. My motor skills are slowly reawakening, but I feel too exhausted to move. I must be on some sedative or painkiller to feel this completely out of it. In fact, all of the muscles in my body feel perfectly relaxed, as if I had cold water running through my veins. At least the room is warm enough, and I'm comfortable under the blanket tucked under my heavy arms. I glance down at the end of the bed where my foot is pitching a lone tent in the linen. I slide my arm under the blanket and feel that I'm in my underwear. Gross. My head is still underwater, but I feel around to see if I'd been assaulted. I allow a sigh of relief that at least I didn't wake up to discover that my underwear was on backwards. I work my fingers down past my underwear to scratch at that nagging itch. I feel the rough cloth texture of gauze bound tight against my skin. Farther below, the gauze has hardened and clung against my skin like a scab. What? What the? No! My eyes widen and I throw the blankets to the floor. The smell of burnt flesh chokes back a cry of agony. I try to fight back the tears that are welling in my eyes as I see the bloodied stump of where my leg had once been. Oof. Is that the stump? Leg, I mean? Okay, so that is the end of day 4. What does continue mean? continue. Oh, okay, so we just get this. Yeah. Here are some cool pixels we can look at while I do this. Anyway, that was day 4, or at least that part of it. That felt very complete to me, but I don't know for sure. Could not be. Anyway. The room certainly did look different. Anyway, that was day 4, my first video of day 4. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. It'll be waiting to be published, and the second that, they say we can, I will post it. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and leave a comment if you feel like it, but you don't have to. And I will see you all in the next video, so thank you so much, and good night!